Welcome to Wellness Exposed. I want to start this channel with something simple, relatable, and honestly, something most of us have probably done without thinking twice. Fiber supplements. Specifically, the difference between brand name fiber, like Metamucil, and plain 100% pure psyllium husk. Because I was that person who bought the brand for years. I saw the commercials, I saw it in every pharmacy, it felt familiar, it felt trusted. So I assumed it must be the best option. But one day I actually flipped the container over and read the ingredient list. And that's when I realized something that made me pause. The main active ingredient in Metamucil is psyllium husk. That's the fiber, that's the part that actually works. But depending on the version, especially the orange flavored powders, you'll also see ingredients like sugar or sugar substitutes, natural and artificial flavoring, citric acid, and color additives such as yellow 6. Some versions contain maltodextrin, some are sugar-free, and use alternative sweeteners. Now, I'm not here to say those ingredients are evil. That's not the point. The point is awareness. The point is that the product most of us recognize and pay more for is primarily psyllium husk, mixed with flavoring and additives to make it taste and look appealing. Now compare that to buying a bag or container labeled 100% psyllium husk. And that's exactly what it is. One ingredient, psyllium husk, no dyes, no sweeteners, no flavor packets, just the outer husk of the Plantago ovata seed, which is a soluble fiber that forms a gel when mixed with water and helps support digestion, cholesterol levels, and blood sugar balance. That's it. Same core ingredient, different presentation. So then I started asking myself, what am I actually paying for? Am I paying for better fiber? Or am I paying for marketing, branding, and convenience? Because when you break it down, the fiber itself is the same. In fact, when you buy pure psyllium husk in bulk, whether from a health food store or online retailers like Amazon, it's often less expensive per serving than the branded option, sometimes significantly less. And that's where this gets interesting. A lot of us assume that if something costs more, it must be higher quality, or safer, or more effective. But in many cases, especially in the wellness industry, you're paying for packaging, advertising, and flavor development. You're paying for that bright orange powder that tastes like citrus instead of a neutral, slightly earthy fiber that thickens quickly in water. And for some people, that convenience and taste absolutely matter. Some people won't take fiber unless it tastes good, and that's valid. But the key is knowing you have options. Another thing I noticed when comparing labels is fiber content per serving. Because branded powders are blended with flavoring and sweeteners, the actual grams of fiber per scoop can sometimes be lower than what you'd get from a straight teaspoon of pure psyllium husk. Again, not a dramatic scandal, just something most of us don't think to compare. And this is why I wanted this to be the first video on Wellness Exposed. Not to bash brands, not to create fear, but to encourage label reading. Because how many of us are buying products that contain one key ingredient when we could just buy that ingredient itself? I'm really curious. Have you ever compared the two? Have you used Metamucil before? Do you prefer flavored fiber mixes because they're easier to drink? Or have you switched to plain psyllium husk? And if so, did you notice a price difference? Drop the product you use in the comments. I genuinely want to know what people are choosing and why. At the end of the day, this comes down to informed decisions. If you love the taste and convenience of a brand name fiber supplement and it helps you stay consistent, that's great. Consistency matters, but if you're someone who prefers fewer additives and lower cost, pure psyllium husk is sitting right there on the shelf too, often without the flashy marketing. This channel is about pulling back the label. It's about asking simple questions like, what's actually in this, and is there a simpler version of what I'm buying? Because most of us aren't trying to waste money. We're not trying to ignore ingredients. We just trust what we've always seen. So this week, I challenge you. Pick up one supplement in your home and read the full ingredient list, not just the front label, the back, and tell me what surprised you. If this conversation made you think differently about something you regularly buy, make sure you subscribe. We're just getting started, and trust me, there's a lot more to expose.